Coming up in sports, fans are already lining up outside of the Stephen C. O'Connell Center for the Florida Gators men's basketball team's regular season finale. See what the Gators have in store for their matchup against the Alabama Crimson Tide tonight and more after the break.
You're watching WUFT TV News.
I'm Jack Meyer, here with your Tuesday afternoon sports roundup on the day. Starting off inside the Stephen C. O'Connell Center, the Florida Gators men's basketball team is looking to finish off its season in style tonight in a top 25 showdown against the Alabama Crimson Tide. As the fans begin to file into the O-Dome, WUFT's Reagan Shepard is live with everything you need to know about tonight's game.
The last time these two teams saw each other marked an overtime loss for the Gators, so this is a game of redemption. With the SEC tournament coming up next Wednesday, a win could solidify the Gators as a top 6 seed, guaranteeing a first-round bye. Emotions aside, this is a vital game for the Gators, as they could set up for a favorable tournament season. In their first meeting, point guard Walter Clayton Jr. led both teams in scoring with 27 points, with Zion Pullen and Will Richard both contributing 17. A common obstacle for this Gator team is maintaining the lead they worked so hard to achieve. So, if they can protect their basket and hold off the Crimson Tide, that first round bye will be knocking right at that door. Tip-off is right here in the O-Dome at 7 p.m. Reporting live, I'm Reagan Shepard, WUFT News.
The men's squad won't be the only Gators taken to the hardwood this week. Florida's women's basketball team is in Greenville, South Carolina for the 2024 SEC tournament. The Gators finished their regular season campaign with 14 wins and 14 losses. Florida struggled in conference play, tallying a 5-11 record against SEC opponents, but the team has had its fair share of bright spots as well. Senior guard Leilani Correa was named the SEC Sixth Woman of the Year and earned an all-conference second-team nod, while freshman guard Layla Reynolds secured a spot on the SEC's all-freshman team. The Gators will get to work right away in tournament play tomorrow as they are slated to face off against the Missouri Tigers in round 1 at 1:30 p.m. Coming back down to Condren Ballpark, Florida baseball's matchup with the Florida Atlantic Owls that was previously scheduled for tonight has officially been postponed due to inclement weather. The matchup between the two Sunshine State squads has now been pushed back to April 30th. Even with this last-second postponement, Florida still has quite a busy week ahead of them. The Gators will face off against the UCF Knights tomorrow evening at 6:30 p.m. before hosting the St. Mary Gales in a three-game series this weekend. Staying on the diamond, this week will feature plenty of action in the world of high school baseball. Yesterday, the Oak Hall Eagles dismantled the St. Francis Catholic Wolves in a 15-0 run rule victory. Oak Hall second baseman Jackson Beach knocked out a pair of extra base hits and finished with 4 RBIs on the day. On the other side of town, the Hawthorne Hornets scored 18 runs in the first inning en route to a 20-3 victory over the Peniel Baptist Academy Warriors, while the Trenton Tigers came up just short in a 9-7 extra innings loss to the Lafayette Hornets. Tonight will feature plenty of primetime matchups across North Florida. First up, the Newberry Panthers will play host to the Brantford Buccaneers at 6 p.m. Later on in the evening, the PK Yonge Blue Wave will hit the road to take on the Santa Fe Raiders. And finally, the Trenton Tigers will get right back to the diamond tonight for a matchup with the Gainesville Hurricanes at 7 p.m. And finally, the Orlando Magic will hit the road tonight to take on the Charlotte Hornets, while the Miami Heat will stay home to host the Detroit Pistons. With the NBA playoffs right around the corner, it should be interesting to see which Florida squad comes out on top in the Southeast Division.
You know, it only feels intentional that on this March 5th, 305 day, the Miami Heat are playing at home.
You know, my favorite Miami story is that I met Mr. 305, Pitbull, in the 305.
Dale!
Let's go over the weather.
Well, you know, speaking of the Miami Heat, we still are feeling the heat, and we're also seeing that rain. We're going to get a band of showers, especially overnight, and then we'll see more drier weather coming up. And if you take a look at our 7-day outlook, we have fog for your Thursday, and then cloudy skies are going to continue to stay as we rise into the 80s.
Thanks, Julia. BBC World News is next, and the PBS NewsHour is coming up at 7.
Your Florida News is always on at WUFT.org. Have a great night.